Hey y'all, it's me again, Joey.
Well, ready to let them loose?
Yep, that's it. Let's see if they make us run.
Oh,
Probably so.
yeah, that one tried to get after him, but other than that, what can you expect? I mean, can you blame them? Oh yeah, they're getting after us now. Go, Joey, go!
They mad.
They're mad, buddy. I'm gonna get in the truck. You gotta go back and get your camera.
But also, just get as many as you can off the one next to it. Get out.
You gotta move away.
Do that side again. Y'all ready? Let's get started. Well, here we are again. Another cold Saturday night. Hope everybody over in the chat's doing good. Got a few coming in. How you doing, Mr. JW? You cold?
I never had much fun. It's just
Hey.
great.
Hey, we got some. Let's see. Got Tar Heel Beekeeper, Mark Miller, Mike Tangway. I'm not going to call everybody's full name. Clay Bonner, because I don't know them all. Iowa Layings Beekeeper, George, Jonathan Stevens. Keith Spielman, Highland Honey, Eric. I can't focus on that one. Eric, Colorado. Did I get everybody? Oh, we got Gary, Papa G's, Gunline. You see anybody else come in while I was calling? Dodd House?
Heck, you're more popular than Dolly. You know that, Joy.
And Mark Zanner. Every time I start doing this, I wish I had.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think I got them all.
Yeah.
I apologize.
You got your neighbor down there, Russell Amon. You didn't miss him.
I see Rick come in here. Russell. Yeah, there's Russell. I just got down his name.
Got Lisa. You got Mr.
I'm not.
House. You got
There's Rodney Middleton. Maccabees. I think I just got to the bottom.
Hope Sadler.
I miss Hope. Oh, there's Hope right there. Hey, Hope. Let me take some of these marks I had out of here. It's cold. I'm squeaking. All the parts are squeaking tonight when I move. Squeaking and clicking. Hey, Graham.
He come in there looking like he's going out on an Arctic expedition, folks. You ought to see him.
Yeah, I was bundled up. I just had to go back to the house and then walk back here. I had my old work jacket on. It's 21 here. What you got, Mr. JW? What'd you say you had?
I've got 16 here.
16?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's 27 here. I'm sorry. It's going to be 21 in a couple hours.
No. I think we got a pretty good cloud cover up here, so I don't expect it to get too much lower.
Yeah. Well, we do have a beautiful moonlit night. It's not quite full, but at glance, you would think it was full.
I got one more cookie to get down, people, and then I'll be able to talk a little bit.
Well, I ain't got no cookies and I can't talk much.
Mm,
Hey, I think Keith talked about a little bit coming toward him, a little more bad weather
hmm Hey, Miss
in
Jan,
the day.
how y'all doing? Miss Fiona, good to see you, sweetheart.
Uh, We got 65 in the house. Well, I don't know what we're going to talk about tonight. Ain't nobody been in no bees hardly. I know you ain't been in no
Yeah,
bees.
Todd Prater has out there. Didn't you see his post today?
I didn't get to watch it.
Oh, he's in panic mode.
I seen it pop up.
He's got bees every place. He's in
Yeah.
full panic mode. I'll send some of those bald-faced hornets out there,
Uh,
Mr. Prater. That'll slow him down a little bit.
I've got a few comments. I always get a few when I post a video that has those interview covers on them. A lot of people think they're Lexan. They're not Lexan.
Mm-hmm.
Just give you a warning. Tom said he'd be here in a few minutes.
Uh-oh. I got him.
But
It popped up on me too.
the boy that actually designed it and patented that lid, he used to make them with the laminated glass and the Lexan, and he found that the Lexan would fog up way too much, and I don't know why the difference is. You sometimes when it's cold like this, you see a little moisture
Mm-hmm.
on the glass, but he said that Lexan would fog up a lot. Plus, when you had to start cleaning them things, you scratch them up big time.
Yeah. Hey, Danny Newburn. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Danny,
I made 50 pounds of fondant today.
did you?
Yep.
You didn't email none to me?
10-pound batches. 4 good ones and one flop. I won't give up on trying to make fondant out of my well water. You've heard me talk about it, I think, Joey, but
Yeah.
there's something in my water. It just gets hard as a brick. I've tried another one, tried a different formula, tried different.
Well, how much water does it take to do like a one batch for you?
I used just a little over 1,000 milliliters, just a strong quart, for a 10-pound batch. So
You probably could just buy filtered water. And
I went this afternoon and bought, or just before we came on, I ran to Dollar General and bought 6 gallon of distilled water. I can make it out of distilled water, and it comes out just almost perfect. Boulevard.
Mm.
I can't make it down my well water, which I was hoping I could come up with a formula. There's some kind of a catalyst in that well water or something that makes that, and it sets up almost immediately. You just can't. I can't hardly get after I get done cooking it and get it cool down to where I wanna stir it. I can't stir it 30, 45 seconds sometimes, and it goes setting up. It only give me time to get my pollen and my honeybee health in my secret formula additives added to it. So
There he is. I warned y'all he was coming.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mr. Ed.
he kind of looked like you.
I'm gonna go ahead and put the link in the chat and get it pinned.
Where you been?
Me?
Yeah. Looks like you just come in from outside. You're dressed up almost like Joey.
Mm-hmm. It's cold here.
He come in with his heavy coat, his what do you call that? What is that, one of them boonie hats or whatever you had on there, Joseph? Or is that one of
A
them old
boonie hat.
Yeah, I guess you call them, isn't it?
I'm
Boonie hat.
posting that link, but I'm not seeing it over in the YouTube.
Too late, Ben Smith, on the cookies. I done ate them all. Too late. Oh, you got some. Oh, them's I had
Oh,
I
not
had
doing
some
right.
homemade peanut butter and I had some homemade chocolate chip.
Did your wife make those?
Yep.
I'm gonna come over to your house.
Out of this world good, I'm telling you. I have to beg her. I have to really be nice to her. I have to be nice for at least a day.
Oh man, that's a tough one for you.
Like that. It's awful hard.
Yeah. Well, it paid off.
That one went. I tried to post that link 3 times, and it kept telling me it couldn't do it that way.
I don't.
There it is. That was my old hunting hat. Days like today, that's what I wear.
There you go.
Unless I got to be out in it a lot. This is mostly with cold rain, whatever.
Looks like
Best fitting hat I ever had.
Sounds like some people down in North Carolina and areas are getting snow today.
It's kind of flurried out here all afternoon, just spritzing around a little bit. It's nothing to accumulate, but there's snowflakes in the air.
Yeah, it must have been lightly flurrying overnight last night here, actually, because Melissa and I were out in Jefferson City, not too far, hour and a half away, last night into today, and just got back this afternoon.
I went to a local bee club meeting last night and had a grand total of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, counting me. There's that guy that's in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
He's in bad trouble. He got bees he don't know what to do with.
I need to find queens.
Well, I can send you some. What do you want? You want some bumblebees or you want ball-faced hornets? I can send you.
I'll take the stink bugs.
They don't produce any honey.
Do you saute those things or you just eat them raw?
I just eat them raw.
Okay.
You get by the smell, you got her licked,
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, almost. I went through 6 or 7 colonies and they all look like that. So I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, you're in good shape. You'll be okay. You're just gonna have to do something you're not used to.
Yeah, I'm not used to them being like that right now. Usually that's what they look like in like mid-February.
That's only 2 weeks off.
2-3 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, you'll be all right. Run up to, how far are you from Oliveras?
Oh yeah, that's
200 miles.
a couple 100 miles.
Yeah.
Well, there's no way around you can get queens this time of year. I thought that weather over there was like summer all the time.
Yeah.
You have to go south.
I could get some Hawaiian queens, but I'd probably be on a big waiting list. Then I'd be able to make my own before I get those. I don't know. I'll look at the calendar and start doing my math backwards and see when I need to start that.
Looks like to me you're gonna have a few drones in a few days.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even look at that green frame.
Maybe you can maybe you can do some, get some semen out of one of those drones and do some artificial insemination.
Well, one of those drones I broke open in between the boxes. One of them had it was almost full purple eye. They're getting pretty close. So that particular hive was out in front more than the others. So yeah, worked on. But I think I'll just do a lot of equalizing and see if I could slow them down a little bit. I have some hives I could donate stuff to.
Yep. This thing is jumping over here. Everybody's talking.
Mm-hmm. Don't you be throwing him up, Brad Hogg. I'm just now getting him tore down to where I can handle him. You go to bragging on him now.
Snowmageddon.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of bugs. That one startled me, that's all. I was tired that night.
Tired.
You hear that, GW?
He smoked himself to death.
No.
Running around with that perfume smoker.
Had the wrong stuff in it, huh?
That's right. Yeah, the perfume smoker.
Yeah. And that I don't know where you call it, a scent pad or a pen pad, but he had on that. He was running around there with
I got some looks. I know that.
He
People looked at me 2 or 3 times when I walked by.
I had to look at you 5 times.
just said, "Yeah, don't look at me that way."
Gee.
He's your best buddy, Todd.
Too bad you didn't leave on Friday morning.
Hey, just think of all the fun we're going to have in St. Louis here in a few weeks.
I might be going for a refund.
No, you're not. It's gonna be like a barrel. It's gonna be like a barrel full of monkeys, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, it should be fun. It looks like right now the weather might be nice.
I sure hope so.
But
It's been pretty nice before on our workshop days. When Mr. Ed was out, not last year, but the year before, it had to have been mid-60s.
Well, you never know this time of year out there.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely February is still definitely winter time in St. Louis, but it can be anything. Honestly, there's just no telling. I mean, you lived in Missouri, you understand that.
Yeah.
Steve Mavis, you'll be able to get caught up on all your paperwork. You won't be able to do much outdoor survey work. I wouldn't think. You got 9 inches of snow to wade. Was getting a good example of what it's like out here in the real world.
That video I posted this morning, that's the way this Louisiana weather is, up and down.
Yeah.
I did that Thursday. And now it's 20 something degrees.
It's I haven't looked at your video yet, Joey.
What?
Have.
Hold on, let me kick him out of here.
Close me out. I'll go to bed. I had a long night again last night. And wore out.
Huh.
I made a big mistake. We had the little old local bee club had a bee meeting last night. There's only 6 of them showed up, and the club secretary is a lady. She brought a big pot of really delicious chili. We ate it about 7 or 8 o'clock at night. I ate too much chili, and I was miserable all night. So.
Uh-oh.
I I really didn't get indigestion. I just couldn't go to sleep. I don't know. She might have had me some. She might have had some kind of black. What is that coffee? That Black Death or something?
Oh yeah,
She might have- she
Death
might
Wish coffee.
Death
have-
Wish.
Yeah.
That's that Quimby coffee down there
I
in
could probably use a cup
Louisiana.
right now.
Mhm.
All I know is it had him wired halfway through the middle of the night driving home from Louisiana when he drank that stuff.
Good coffee. It's,
I might do like Hannah, start just making me a big old mug of it over here instead of drinking
yeah.
Pepsis and stuff. Drink coffee.
Sounds like Brian Zavada and Randy Tarhill both had rough days today.
Death with chili.
Yeah, that's probably what it was, Brian. I made fondant about all afternoon. I made 50 pounds of fondant.
Were you working inside the garage where the boats are?
Yeah.
I mean,
I got done it all when I got in there.
it was
I've
cold
got
outside
my
today.
I've got my little tractor and with the loader and my 4x4.
Okay, what kind of thermometer you use? Is it a digital or the
No, I just
regular
use
analog type or what?
cheapy candy thermometers. I've got 2 or 3 just to make sure that I'm holding the right temperatures. But I've got an old grill that one of my sons had,
Hey, Lee.
Joey, and I can run that thing on high till it hits 222. And that's your softball stage on your candy thermometers. And then I can turn it to low as it'll go, and it'll hold that there for the time that I cook my sugar. So, and it stays 222 to about 224 the whole time. I can just run it wide open until it gets up to there. And when that sugar foams, Joey, and I start timing it. Once it'll foam clear up, you want to have plenty of extra room in your pot if you're thinking about making some.
Yeah.
When it foams clear up, that foam won't stay up there very long. It'll go back down to normal. And once it goes back down, that's when I set my timer. And right now, the formula I'm using, I'm cooking it for 14 minutes. Once it, comes to boil and comes to softball stage, and it's working out just about right.
And
If I don't use my well water,
you hold it at that temperature?
yeah, I'm gonna stay there.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I haven't give up on making it out of my well water today, and I made another failure there. I can cook it with the same formula, same time, same amount, everything. And as soon as I break it down and go to stirring it, I can't stir it 45 seconds. That stuff will set up, and then once it actually fully sets up, and then I have to. It's harder than my old sugar bricks or sugar boards.
Oh, I'm sorry, I picked you out.
That's okay.
You put it back.
I figured that one was for JW. I was going to let him take that one.
Go ahead and click it again.
I'm not even looking at the chats, boys. So
look at the comment I posted.
Kind of depends on the sea level you're at.
You mean on the weather? I mean, as far as are you talking about making fondant?
Yes.
Yeah, it'll make the conditions will make a big difference in the how the fondant breaks down. But I was talking to Matt today, and I told him, I said, if you find out that I've tried to make any more fondant out of using my deep well water out here at the farm, why call the nearest insane asylum and get me committed, because I'm bullheaded. I just keep trying. I just keep having failures. I just can't make it. There's some kind of something in that well water that's that's causing me problems. So I guess I'm gonna have to give up.
Is your well water fairly hard in nature?
Oh, it's real soft.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, it's real soft. Tom, it'll leave a little, like if you wash your car in it, which Blake washes the vehicle about every day,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't blow it off with a blower or sham it, which he chamois, it blows it off and then chamois it. He,
You get that calcium buildup.
I don't know what I mean. I'm not saying it is calcium. I don't know what it is. But if you take a shower in it, I thought maybe you might have showered when you guys stayed up over there.
We did.
Now Matt said I don't think Matt didn't remember where he did or not. So, but I've showered. I used to have a shower there in the bathroom there in my shop shed. I took it out. But anyway, you just almost feel slick, slimy. You feel like you can get the water off of you if water's real soft. So I don't know what the situation is, but I can't make fondant with it. I'm pretty well satisfied otherwise with my fondant process. I went and bought 10-gallon distilled water just before we came on. Went to the Dollar General. I'm going to make some more tomorrow, I guess. Good Lord willing. I ain't ever got my battery back of a tractor, big tractor yet.
Oh, is that right? Has your son not been home or available?
He hadn't been home. Blake hadn't been home, and he's home now. He worked 6 16-hour shifts this week.
Just tell him to go there and slap it in the tractor for you right now, and you'll finish putting it back together.
He come over and asked me one day. I said, Lord, no, it's too cold. I've done without it for a week. I'm not gonna. I'll tell you that. That metal's all cold. Your wrenches are cold after about 10 minutes, and it's just miserable.
Yeah. Takes it right out of your skin.
Yeah. But all of us can't live in paradise. All of us can't live in California like my.
I'll take some.
That's the old buddy out there on the. What is it? Chula Vista? Awful close.
I'd like to take your gas tax and your gas price. That'd be nice.
Mm-hmm. We're
You
not
could
that
add mine.
cheap.
Huh?
It's $2.89 here.
I
Nah.
saw $3.79 today. That's the lowest.
I think we're 256. I think
My diesel's out here at about. Of course, they charge. Believe it or not, I get it from the co-op, farm co-op, and that's that's red fuel, red diesel, for non-road use, which I cheat on occasion. Imagine that. Anyway, I think it's $3.86. I think was the price on it. Plus the co-op adds another 10 cents on it for delivery charges. I got a 1,000-gallon tank, so it sets my bill for one far when I get a.
Yeah, I bet.
Get a tank full of diesel.
Do you have to put stabilizer in that and some anti-gel?
Yeah,
anti-gel.
If I'm not using, which I don't use tractors like I used to anymore, I pretty well just treat the individual tanks, and whatever I'm putting it in, putting the diesel in, because it costs you about $125 to treat a 1,000-gallon, tank.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, not cheap. Hey, Bill, I tasted that creamed honey you gave me. It's actually downstairs. I was eating it the other day, as a matter of fact. It was really smooth.
I've got my batch of cinnamon going right now.
Yeah, we seen your video. That stuff looked really. It almost gave the appearance of like peanut butter inside of the. It was really. You could see it was really smooth, and it had some thick quality to it.
It lightened up. It lightened up. I think I don't know the lighting inside the tub or whatever. I think kind of makes it look different because when you bottle it, it doesn't look like that. So I wish it would be white, but yeah.
If you make it out of light honey, it'll
lighten up really good.
You get a more darker amber or whatever you want to call it. But
yeah.
It'll be darker.
My wildflower late summer honey is what I use, so it's always darker. But it tastes good and it's really smooth.
Yeah, this cold weather I've made 3 batches this week myself. And they're all in, sitting in the cooler, getting set up. But I made a cinnamon and a lemon and a blackberry.
Yeah.
I'll bring some of that really good stuff to St. Louis so you can take it back to California with you, and they kick you
I'll bring some out. Well, if you decide you want to have creamed honey. I know you don't eat honey, but
no.
I'll bring some.
No offense, don't bring it for me because I'm not. I just don't care for it. All that honey products is too sweet for my personal taste. I can't keep my outstanding, pleasant personality if I eat all that sweet stuff all the time.
Yeah. You get cranky or something?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Or something.
Oh man. Well, I'll bring you the light version then.
I have.
He likes bourbon. Bring it.
Yeah. That's almost as good as honey.
That's what he's got in his mug right there, I bet.
Yeah.
I got my Yankee. I got Yankee Death Wish in my coffee cup here, trying to stay awake. When I get real tired, I get to blabbering, which you may have noticed already.
Hey Lee, the whole ride home that him and I had last year when he after he drank that Death Wish coffee, it's all he did is blab. I wanted to go take a nap, he wouldn't let me.
He
goes to doze, not hit the horn and the brake.
You get startled and wake up, hit the dash and bounce up, and him and Boz are over there singing a duet, keeping me up.
Yeah, I felt honored to sit in the Boz chair.
That don't happen very often, I'm telling you.
It had the dirty white towel he sits on. He didn't even change his own seat cover for me.
Yeah.
You just throw it in the back.
You don't want to make me make a decision against who rides in the suicide seat, you or the dog, because you're going to come out on a short end. You may be in the back end.
Yep, guaranteed.
He's my buddy.
Sometimes Bob will come up there and sit between you, or sit with you. Kind of sitting shotgun there.
He's got the doggone spoiled. He wants to sit on my lap while I'm driving.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of aggravating at times. He's spoiled rotten.
So, Todd, your weather in California is pretty nice right now. Is that right?
Yeah, but it's going to turn cold. So that's why I'm kind of freaking out about all that brood. They're stuffed. I really am considering putting another box on top of them just to give me a little more time so I can get, some queens going. But
yeah,
that'll create another problem. Then I'll really be in trouble.
You know what? I've done that before on colonies. You're busy, you're tied up, and things are whatever. If you need to, you throw a box on them to buy you some time and move on. Sometimes it's better than the alternative.
What was really surprising to me was that one frame that it was a foundationless frame I put in there at some point last year, and they decided they were going to make drone comb, which is fine. Well, this year it's full. Right now it's full both sides, and that to me means that there was a considerable, well, I think, a lot of time for them already feeling crowded. That's why she was laying tons of drones. And I didn't even look at the green frame down below. And this was in the top box. So I'm like, oh, man. I just have an uneasy feeling that that's going to be, well, first of all, that's my builder. So I might just put a third box on it tomorrow just to pump up the population and then push them down into 2 boxes when I do grafts. But
yeah,
that would be the first box that leaves if I don't do anything. I mean, there's drone between the combs right now, or between the boxes. So
I think people down in I think I read something the other day. People in somewhere in South Florida were already dealing with their grafts actually. So seems early, but I know that the guy that I deal with down there in North Florida says typically the date they shoot for grafting would be grafting before then. I think he's talking emergence, if I remember right. Was February 14th. He said you always look for Valentine's Day. Sometimes it's a stretch, but in North Florida, and this year it very well might be because they've gotten pretty cold in North Florida here this last week too. I'm pretty certain.
See, and that's what's going to happen next week. It's going to turn cold. So, yeah.
So I was talking with, I don't know where they're at, but Acorn, I was talking with Patricia yesterday, as a matter of fact, from Acorn, and we were chatting a little bit about weather, and she's like, again, I don't know where at in California that they're located at. It must be somewhere about your climate because or north to south area, because she said something about, she goes, it's normally pretty warm over winter. She goes, it basically gets a little cool and a little bit rainy. And then she goes, it goes right back to warm up into the 80s. So I don't know. I didn't look to bother to see where Acorn is located at.
I didn't know they were in California.
Yeah, they are. I don't know where, but they are.
Southern California. Oh, Chico. Okay, yeah, that's
okay. That makes sense. Up north, yeah.
So a little bit further south than what you'd be then, I guess.
No, Chico's up north.
Chico. Oh, I'm thinking of Chino. I'm thinking Chino, California. Okay, Chino's south.
Yeah.
Chico. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I have a picture somewhere of me holding a frame of queen cells, and I want to say it was April 1st. It was about 4 or 5 years ago, but I can't find the picture. I think I saved on my my Google file. I need to go through that. And that's about the earliest I remember doing grafting. So it was before, was 10 days before that. So, or 7 days, 8 days, something, whatever. But anyway, so I don't have time to wait, 6 more weeks, 7 more weeks. I don't know. It's going to be weird.
Yeah, it's always a problem when those temperatures start flipping around really drastically, really hard. It causes a lot of damage and issues. Slowdowns causes, you don't have the population. There's a lot of brood. They'll shrink back for a night. And sometimes the night can cause some chill brood issues, things like that. And then all you're doing is setting the colony back at that point in time. So you'd almost rather than be conservative and hold back a little bit. But, they may not know the weather much more than we do. I mean, I would assume that there's probably some sort of intuition there, but sometimes you can get a lot of that seesaw temperatures just anywhere within the U.S.
Yeah.
If you can't come up with any queens, what would be your objection to doing some OTS splits? If you got eggs, which I understood too,
Well,
make you pull some off there and do some OTSs and let them make their own queens.
well, yeah,
That'll
but I'm
get
still a ways off.
in your hives. Good boot. You can use some of that brood over there too, even.
I have to wait for the drones to go. Although I said I saw some that I broke open that were purple eye-ish. They were almost completely purple, so they're not. At least that box, they're not too far away. But I don't know about the rest of the area. I'm going to have to wait. Is what's going to happen. So it's a good problem, I guess.
You got enough. You don't get too cold out there. I don't. When you say cold, how you?
Well, not like what you guys are having. You know, like lows in the 30s and highs in the high 40s or low 50s.
It's just a thought, I'd say you'd get by with that if you wanted to.
Yeah,
That would give you a little relief without adding boxes, maybe. Well,
yeah,
you're going to be adding boxes, but you're not going to be on the same.
yeah. No, that is a good idea.
Oh, feel like my little dog out. He's wanting to go fishing.
Anybody else over there wants to come in? I got room for 6 more.
6.
Yep.
When does your subscription end?
I think end of February.
Hey, Grammy, is that Palm Beach County? Oh, PCB.
Panama City Beach.
Oh, okay. North Florida. 31? Whew.
Yeah.
Uncle Junior had asked, let's see, what was his question? Something about when they start swarming in California. It kind of depends. I know it depends on where you're at in California, but
Yeah.
It depends. It's just all on the weather.
yeah.
Well, it's what, 500 miles from
Yeah, it's
Diego.
The one thing that's really got me puzzled, and the only thing I could think of it coming from is there's a ton of nectar in those colonies. I mean, several frames of nectar, and the only place that I could think that it came from would be the either wild radish or wild mustard that's been blooming for like the last 5 months. It's never here until right about now, but it started poking up out of the ground in October, and it never went away.
Are you talking about bee bread or actual
Nectar.
Yeah.
I mean, nectar. I
You
shook
may be.
one frame, and
man?
I couldn't believe it. I don't know where it's coming from. Like I said, the only thing is, well, do you guys know if wild mustard or wild radish gives out nectar? Period. I
Well, I think we discussed that some. That's a better weed, or could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll make nectar for you. I can tell you.
I kind of half thought it was hummingbird food, and it still might be. There's people that don't put red dye in their hummingbird feeders, so they might be hitting that, but yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Here you go, Joey.
Brian, we're gonna have to check your temperature, buddy.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, though. As the president says, that's huge.
Huge.
Wow.
I know.
All right. Well, Grammy says it gives out nectar, so there's acres, and it's like when Ian has his videos of the whatchamacallit up there blooming, the yellow what does he have up there? What's that flower up there?
Where? Say again.
Uh, with Ian with what's that?
You talking to me?
Canola?
No, canola. Gosh. Yeah, so when he shows the fields of canola, they're all yellow. That's what it looks like here, and that's what it's looked like for like the last 4 or 5 months.
I'd love to get my bees on some sunflower blooms this year because that's a later season bloom for us, and I understand that that's a pretty good pollen profile, a really healthy pollen profile.
Yeah.
Even read something before. There was some research out there, and please don't quote me on it. Somebody else may be able to corroborate this. Something to do with the pollen, the type of pollen, or something in the pollen out there that somehow, I think there were some studies done that I don't want to use the term controlled mites, but something where it maybe it disrupted some type of breeding cycle or something like that. I can't remember now. It was last year when I was reading up on some of this information.
Appreciate that, Steve.
Anybody else know that?
Nope. What I was trying to look up, and I didn't see anything. I was trying to see if the wild mustard we have here is different from what you have over there, but it's probably not because I didn't see anything. I don't think it makes a lot of nectar, but it does put off some nectar from what I've been told.
There's acres and acres and acres of it around here, so they're well within range of all.
Yeah,
they have access to all kinds of it.
Brent, I don't remember where I had read that, but I was doing some research last year after something I heard to want to see if there was truth to it. And I can't remember the articles that I read, and I need to go back to it actually. But I had put a post out on Facebook asking if anybody had any sunflower fields, other than just a small little patch that I could move bees to. And I wanted to move, 20 or 30 colonies over there just to see what it looked like. What's up, Charlie?
Hey,
Charlie.
I think Charlie's got some sunflower seeds. You can sit some out there on him.
Yeah, they grow them around here, but I guess it's more oil-based sunflowers.
That's the ones that's the best, Charlie. It really is. And black seeds,
Right.
Yeah.
It's either oil-based or they use them for bird seed feed or whatever.
That's what I used to have a row crop farmer neighbor that he made. That's what he does. Well, he still does, but he sold out his processor. He makes bird seed. That's the way to get high dollar out of your produce. Your cracked corn and your sunflowers and your Milo. Corn you get $4 a bushel. Bird seed you get about $4 a pound for.
thank you, Uncle Junior.
There was some different bigger farmers who were doing that for a while, and it's more of a tourism thing around here because people don't see sunflower fields that much, and they kind of make a tourism thing out of it.
It brings them in, huh?
Well, they'll set up a table and they'll take pictures and they'll have walking trails through it, and you pay so much money to walk through the field.
Hey, whatever brings the dollars in.
That's right.
Hey, they can bring the people in it. I'll bring a bunch of colonies in and set them up in there.
I can't raise it out here. The dairy just eats them up about as fast as you can plant them.
Before I forget about it, back on the mustard for just a minute. That's I lost a few hives a year, about 4, maybe 5 years ago now. It was a small yard. I didn't keep but like 5 there, 5 little colonies at my buddy's house. They always did good over there because he's got clover behind his house in a field. And one year I come in there and 4 out of the 5 were dead. And let me click on that. And I didn't know what caused it. We was scratching our heads and everything, and they, there wasn't a ton of bees piled up. You know, there was some dead bees on the floor, but it wasn't just piled up and blocking the entrance where nobody else could get out or anything like that. And come to find out, I talked to my buddy, and he did a little digging around and found out the property next to him that his cousin sold to someone a few months prior, when that wild mustard started coming up, instead of bush hogging, he sprayed it all.
Oh,
And
Yeah, they do that here too. A lot of them.
we blamed it on that. So he don't do that anymore, and no wars died. So
Yeah, there was somebody up in the next town above us where they had planted the sunflowers, and a bunch of his hives got died or whatever. And I don't know whether they sprayed the sunflowers or what it was, but it didn't work out as he was happy to see the sunflowers, but then after, for some reason, his hives died. I think a pesticide type of poisoning of some sort.
wow.
So you're gonna make some splits pretty soon there, Todd?
Did you see that?
Yeah, I watched it.
All of them were like that.
Did you really dig down in there and find out how many frames of brood you had?
No, I stopped. I will tomorrow though. But I poked around in other boxes, same thing. Although that one was the only one that had drone brood between the boxes, but there was drone brood in other boxes. So,
Well, I mean, you're telling me it's 60 degrees, you've got loads of pollen coming in, and it sounds like the perfect setup for huge brood rearing, to kick in.
well,
Maybe-
a lot of those frames have already gone through at least one round of brood.
Mm-hmm.
You know that the outside edge is still capped, but the inside's all laid back up. So, yeah, we'll
you
see.
might
It's
need
gonna
to
be
go
interesting.
ahead and add another box on all of them, just to kind of give them that room.
I know. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing.
When
That'll give me more time.
Out of there, it's going to be full.
So now Doug talks about putting a lot of chemicals on the sunflowers, so I guess maybe that's what killed that guy's stuff. But I mean, that's like henbit. There'll be a field of henbit out there, an old cornfield where they chop, and then they'll run across and do a kill on it. And what are you killing it for? Well, they're doing chemical farming. But I mean, what's your weather pattern like, Todd? Is it going to get warmer and warmer and warmer?
No, it's going to drop. This time of year, it goes up and down, up and down. It cycles in and out, and then it'll, by April, mid-April, it'll take off. But it's going to turn cold next week. So,
Well, what do you call cold?
well, I know we were talking about it earlier. Lows in the 30s, and then highs are maybe high 40s, low 50s.
Yeah.
As
As much bee power you got inside them hives, they're going to keep all that nice and warm.
Yeah, no, I know.
It looked like to me they had a fair amount of nectar in here too.
I had a lot of nectar. I took one frame out to shake it to see if it was red, because I don't know if they hit hummingbird feeders, but I didn't see any of that.
I've never put any color in my hummingbird feeders.
Yeah, I'm finding out people don't. Now, here's something I've always seen, at least around here with my bees. They'll hit a hummingbird feeder, and the only reason I know it, besides it being red, but if you see honey that's capped in in little clumps and little areas, and if you take that frame out and you put it in a robbing box somewhere away from your yard, they won't touch it. They'll take that sugar water out of the hummingbird feeder. They'll put it in the cells. They'll dry it down. They'll cap it, and they will never touch it again. And it's the weirdest thing. And that's with dye or no dye.
I'm gonna tell you my experience with hummingbird feeders. The only time, and this is from asking people questions. You know, when they say the bees are after their hummingbird feeders, they're mixing it too thick.
Oh,
They're putting way too much sugar in there, and it's attracting those bees. And most feeders that I've seen, a bee can't get in there to that water.
Yeah.
Not supposed to be. Now, if they got one of them little flowers missing, they're gonna crawl in there and get it and crawl back out.
Yeah.
There's Bob the snowman. You got what,
Yeah,
Bob? He's got
We'll
maybe
see what happens.
inch and a half to 2 inches, maybe at the most down there.
Oh, I think they got a lot down there.
He had a video out today, and
Yeah, Rodney's in here. He got a lot too. He's in South Carolina.
mine's more like JW there.
Yeah, me too.
I was out there at the hives today. I went out and I cleaned out. I think 3 of them had iced over entrances. I dug them out, and so the best, it was mighty cold today. It was in the 20s, and so I opened up one nuke just to open it up, look, and see if they had any fondant left, and they did. And I said, okay, you'll be good for the next 3 days or whatever till it gets to about close to 40.
I figured with all these Canadians over here in the chat, some of them would come in and tell us how cold it really is.
Yeah.
We got several over in the chat.
Did you guys see that one that that little post that Tom Nolan made today? He couldn't even get to his house, but realized.
Was that today or was that yesterday? But I seen that too.
He posted the last day or two. I don't know.
Mhm.
The streets were
Yeah. They had to have been a few foot of snow on his walkway that he had cleared out with the blower.
I was thinking about posting a little old short or something on my stuff, but I can't top Tom, I can tell you.
He had a lot of snow.
I think where's he at, in Ontario?
I actually don't know.
What, Rick? I don't
He's
know.
in Toronto. Wait,
No.
are you talking?
Rick's first
Tom
group.
Nolan for
Tom Nolan. Not right there.
Yes,
Or
he's in
not-
Toronto or Ontario.
Okay. That's what I said. I thought he was in Ontario someplace.
And then I went in, I had another 10 framer there. And that was the biggest problem is I took the tractor right where those hives are behind me there. And I went in front of them and just kind of pushed the snow several days ago. But now everything is frozen like ice.
Yeah.
And I had to get and kind of like tromp down on the top to break through so I could stand up because it was like a skateboard because it was like about 3 foot of snow in front of them. And so I got in behind that 110 framer there, and it's had that cluster size like that. And I had about like a gallon bag of Matt's fondant in there. So there's still some left, but I got in and out so fast that I had put a 1 pound pollen of bee bites in there. I don't know whether that stuff was still there or not. I don't think it was. All I seen was a sea of bees. I said, okay, you're there. You got enough fondant. Close it back down. I was done.
Hey, Charlie, do you guys have a lot of snow on the ground where you're at?
I got we got about 8 inches of snow. Now there's about 3 inches of crusty ice. And anywhere they piled it up, it's just a solid ice block.
Now, was your snow fairly wet or was it a really dry, powdery snow?
Well, it was powdery. It started early Sunday morning snowing, and then by noontime it started sleet/rain.
Okay, I see. I see now why you are.
The rest of the afternoon was sleet/rain.
Yeah. So that same system that we got was Saturday into Sunday, and then early Sunday afternoon it pretty much stopped, And for us, it was nothing but dry, powdery snow, much like what you'd see up in the Canadian area and like what I would describe as Colorado. Very, very dry, fluffy, powdery snow.
Yeah, no.
Easy to
Kind of
push.
like this right here.
It's hard for me to tell what that is, but yeah, something that would kind of drift.
Well,
It
my
was.
snow
Yeah.
was right up to the tops of the bottom boards.
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask a question then here. And I'm just curious to know what everybody else in the comment section. I would say, Joey, you probably would never have to because you don't get any snow, but I mean, you kind of have. You ever clean out the entrances?
Depends. And now, if it's like
They usually melt it off pretty quick.
like a powdery snow,
Mhm.
normally they will melt off. But now the one I cleaned most of them were clean. I had 3 of them there. The snow was even with the entrance. You couldn't see the entrance,
Mhm.
but it was completely iced. I actually had to take my hive tool and chop it to get it off of
That
the
was
hive.
probably moisture coming out. The
Yeah, it
moisture
could be.
building
No,
up.
we got 3 inches of ice. When I stepped up on, when I have snow about 8 or 9 inches deep, right? And then there's 3 inches of crusty ice on top of that. I'm standing up on top of these things and sliding around like a darn skating rink. And then finally you'll try to start walking towards the hive to grab it to hold yourself, and then boom, then your feet blow through the ice into the powdery snow and stuff.
Hey, next time you do that, Charlie, can you make a video of that for us and hold so we can get a whole big picture? Some of us need some good entertainment in here, you know. Winter can be
Yeah.
boring at times, so
I fell down today, let me tell you now.
it sounds like you and
I chopped 3 of them off, and I was trying to go over to the last hive, which is a nuke, and I'm like trying to get over to where I had pushed the snow out of the way, and where the tractor marks were, they're solid ice because they're compact. And then boom, here I go down in the snow. Well, actually on top of the ice. But, no,
I have to say, I don't think I've ever cleaned. Maybe the first year or so that I had bees, you know, because sometimes you get a little antsy, you want to get in the bees and want to mess with them. But I don't think I've ever cleaned off snow out of them. But the same thing I've noticed too, and maybe it's a little bit different with ice. I don't know. I don't really concern myself with it a lot, but you know, you'll notice within a day or so of snow that's piled up against colonies, it'll melt back half inch, you know, whatever.
problem this year or this time around is we're talking, all right, 7:30 in the morning, 8 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
The high is 21.
Yeah.
And you're doing that for the last 8 days or more. And you got a glaze of ice. Normally around here is about 3 days later. Well, it's up around 40 some degrees and the darn stuff's melting away.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to go out to them hives because it'll melt off the hives, or the bees will go out there and drink it, you know, as water sources and stuff like that.
Yeah. I guarantee at those temperatures, those bees aren't even remotely trying to break cluster, you know?
Yeah. Now I got a question.
You say that, but you know what? I was out there. I opened that hive up. It was 22 degrees today.
Mm-hmm.
I opened that inner cover up. Now I have insulation on top.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't buy. I went up, looked at it, and damn. And they were up on top. I had a gallon bag, a Ziploc bag with Matt's fondant, and they had about 2/3 of it gone. They were on top of the baggie. And I usually cut the whole bottom of the bag out almost.
Yeah, leave an opening.
Hey, man.
And make a great big window and put that on top and just kind of lay it right on top of the cluster of bees, and they'll go down and they'll eat up and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But they were not sitting there, you know, like froze and chilled and not moving a wink. They were flying, and either they were because I had insulation and they were warm with a heat dome,
Mm-hmm.
and they're sitting there chomping down on that fondant. They were moving.
Probably on the top side. I bet you the bottom side of that cluster was tight as can be.
Maybe.
That's
Well,
another
especially at
thing.
21.
They were kind of brigading that fondant back down.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, when I opened up the inner cover, it was up and down, you know, and that was it. Just enough to get my curiosity, or just I was worried they were completely out. Is what it amounted.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie, check your phone.
All of my hives were out of Matt's fondant that I checked. Oh,
I've got a question. Talking about the snow covering the entrance up. Um, Brad has talked about this several times about snow covered hives. Don't worry about them; they still get air and everything.
Mhm.
But if it's frozen up with ice on that entrance, does that make a difference?
So let me ask you this, and let me actually pose a part two of that question.
Bob just
How tight you think the bottom of those colonies, even on a solid bottom board, how tight you think those are? You think there's any airflow down there?
I don't know. I see a lot of them. I'm proof that they propolize the bottoms too, because I
Mhm.
have picked it up with a hive lifter. Some of you know, and the
Mhm.
bottom never fell off.
did anybody call
Even the
you,
bottom box never fell off. So,
Joey? Did you get a phone call anybody from up this way for about a hive questions on your hive lifter?
uh, not lately.
Okay, well, I gave your number out. There was a guy on the chat Friday night up there. He bought a B1, he got it in from Boris, and you know how you got the hub on the wheel, and there's like that plastic insert where the
Yeah.
rod goes in. He said, "Well, that thing was cracked," and he had pictures of it live, and it was inside the hub. I said, "Well, you need to take a picture of that to Boris, and you need a new wheel or something." I mean,
Just the shim or that spacer was cracked. All that is PVC.
that it's a spacer that covers the round steel part of the hub.
Oh, the hub. Yeah, he'll fix that for him.
Yeah, and then he was complaining about of course he was dry running. He had a
Yeah.
box that was an empty,
I
and
I
he
thought you
raised.
were talking. I thought you were talking about the spacer that keeps the wheels from
Yeah,
sliding back and forth when he makes a.
yeah, that's just PVC. And I told him, I
Yeah.
said, I looked at his picture and I said, no, I said, go to the other one where it's right. And I said, yeah, that's the way it's supposed to look. And I said, I put a big washer on there so that cotter key wouldn't chew on it and stuff.
Yeah, it's supposed to have a washer on it.
But then the other thing he was complaining about is that, he had no load on it. He just had an empty box and it wouldn't go down by itself. I said, well, you got to have a load on it, I'm pretty sure, on that winch.
WD-40 that thing real good.
Yeah, he was wondering about that. He said it didn't slide that well.
Actually works better than WD-40. It'll hold on there better.
Well, I told him to call you. I said, you got one, you've had it for several years and you know all about it. And I said, you could guide him the best with it, because he was a little bit let down for the amount of money. He thought it was going to be. I mean, I said, look, somebody said, the one guy said, oh, it's probably from China. I said, no, it's not. It's handmade from up in Manitoba. I said, this guy designed it and everything. And I said, now mine's different. It's hydraulic and it works wonderful,
Built in North America.
Huh?
Built in North America.
Yeah. So
yeah, he just needs to spray those little rollers and pull it, the little bushings inside that track. Just spray them all good.
Well, I would say like the track area was like a little bit like it needed to be deburred. He thought it was sharp and all. I'm like, well, I don't know.
It'll break in.
Yeah, mine's not like that. I said the only thing I've done with mine is where you have the arms coming in, you got the thumb screws, and he had pre-drilled some holes on the outer part in that square. I said I drilled through them and put a pin in there so those arms couldn't spread on me and drop a box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bob sent me a picture. It is about 4. He's got a 5-gallon bucket there. It must be about 3 or 4 inches of snow out. So it must be snowing pretty good down there.
Well, guess what time it is?
No, it's not.
Time for JW to ask you a question.
It's only 6 o'clock your time.
I haven't eaten yet. I got to start cooking.
I haven't eaten any dinner either, and it's 8:09 here.
Man.
Well, you got to start cooking too.
It's 9 o'clock here. But you think that your bees are, I mean, obviously they're building up because of pollen and maybe some kind of a nectar source. Are they maybe feeling better too?
Yeah, they're feeling better.
You hadn't been
They're feeling-
overfeeding them, have you?
No, well, they're feeling better from
Other
uh,
thing.
from from from.
We're not
They're
worried.
feeling better. Let's just put it that way. And then, on top of that, Matt's fondant's got all kinds of goodies in there too. So you put all that together.
I don't think you need any more fondant in there, and I don't think you need any more pollen in there either.
No, and they've been bringing in pollen off and on since Christmas, so and probably before, but that's the only thing that's left on those colonies is that pollen patty I put in those baggies. Some have eaten all of it.
Is that something you
have.
made?
I made that Greg Rogers recipe really works for me. I don't know why. I've tried others, but his really works for me. They just devour it. So, and I don't put anything special in it. I just follow his recipe. That's it.
I guess speaking of eating, you can take your cookbook. You'll set on it when you're on chat. Osmosis off that cookbook will come right up through there and fill you up.
When you're making the fondant, what do you, or not the fondant, but the pollen patty? What do you use to do that?
Well, I can't remember his recipe, but it's on it's on one of Bob's videos when he went to visit him. It was it's probably 3 years old now, I think.
Yeah.
It's got he's got the regular stuff, pollen sub and it's Ultra B that he used and syrup and something else. I can't.
You just
remember
kind of mixed a bunch of different stuff in, and that's it.
Yeah, and it might just be the amounts that I used that are a little different than what I used to use, because a lot of times those patties would dry up on top of the
Frames.
top bars. Yeah, they just dry right up. So this one doesn't.
Well, I think a lot of it is something I guess High Life invented this, is to put that plastic bag and cut a hole in the bag and leave the bag on.
Yeah.
Which holds the moisture in.
Yeah. I think that helps a lot too. Well, I got to start cooking unless JW has a question that he can't remember.
I have a question for you.
Shoot.
You're flying to St. Louis, right?
Yes, sir.
You're coming in on Thursday, right?
No, I'm coming in on Friday.
What time?
About 3:30.
Not a good time. Change it.
Okay, send me the difference, please.
Listen, I'm not the rich guy that lives in California, so settle down, all right?
Yeah, but I mean, it starts at what, in the morning on Friday, right, Tom?
10:30.
You're going to lose half of the show, right?
I'm gonna miss the intermediate talk, right?
Yeah.
Who was that?
So you don't have to come. I'm sorry, Joe.
Who was that? I'm getting off subject again because I'm kind of slow. Who was that we were talking about, or they were talking about the bags, using the baggies for the sugar water? And then the way I've always seen it done, the person that showed us, he'd make a little slice or two on top. But somebody else was talking about it, and they've just poked that was Fred Dunn. He just poked like 3 little tiny holes in there where that bee can get in there, get it out.
I think Greg Rogers uses that method still, but Mark Miller also does it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a few guys do it. There's a guy here in St. Louis that taught me that a couple of years ago. I thought that was a pretty ingenious idea. If you don't have a feeder for something, as long as you put a shim on there, you can use a sandwich bag, you can use a gallon bag, whatever. The one thing I would urge is to make sure that the bag is a quality Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
And then I've always just taken a razor blade, a really sharp one, and cut a couple slits in the top. And then
I did a few tests like that a couple years ago, and it worked good. I didn't video none of it, but
Well,
anyway, when Fred talked about it, he just poked about 3 little holes. If I remember, that's what it was, like 3 or 4.
yeah,
Little small holes in it.
I would say you'll feed much slower that way. So if that's your goal or intention,
Yeah.
I'm sure that worked just fine. And that's the same thing that actually I believe those baggies that what is it? Hive Alive puts out those little baggy sack things. They tell you just to poke a couple holes in it or something. They sent me a couple boxes one time, and I threw them on the Hive, I think the spring, just to get rid of them. And I just cut slits in them. Now, obviously, you can't move them once you cut the slits in them. If you had a couple pinholes, it's probably a little bit easier to move them around if you needed to. But once you cut slits in those bags, you can't move them because it'll all dump out.
I think the only way you could move them if you had shims with the screen on it like Matt's got.
Yeah.
Just pick the whole thing up and move it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Next question to Todd.
Oh, yeah. Todd, next question. Let's see. JW, you have your mind
you
going
said
here.
one
Think about
question.
something. You said coming in Friday, you got worked out with Matthew, the fondant maker, to pick you up from the airport?
I hope so. Because JW is not going to pick me up. So
Yeah. He's out.
No, JW would pick you up, but he'd just leave you there.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
I know.
You keep talking. You better show her hope he picks you up.
Uh-oh.
Are we going to grill when you come in town? We going to grill some tri-tip or what? What are we going to do? We're just going to hit the restaurants.
Hey, we just hit the restaurants.
Hit a good hibachi place. I know of a good crab
Hibachi.
place. What do you want? Steak?
Oh, I don't
I
care.
got all those queued up.
I tell you, you better be hungry when you go to Hibachi.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be hungry.
Definitely.
Gentlemen,
Hello.
how are y'all?
Anytime we ever go to hibachi, though, you can always plan on taking some home, which is good because you can reheat that. Brad's back there, too.
Yeah. Don't eat all that rice.
Everybody.
Have that
I
rice
thought
and
I
food
heard
yet.
it beat twice, Brad. I'm sorry.
I see them waving back there. I'm like,
Joey?
hey, you let Brad in?
I heard it beat twice, but when I looked, I just saw Bob and I clicked on it.
Well,
They came in at the same time.
I get lost in Bob's shadow quite a bit, so that's
Poor
okay.
fella.
I know.
Come
And
on,
you
Bob.
would think that I would cast the bigger shadow.
You're just standing. You just happen to be standing behind me and the sun at the same time.
Mr. Boots, yeah, Mr. Grabby.
Yeah, it's still snowing here, Charlie.
yeah, see where it looked like it's about 4 inches on that bucket.
Yeah, it's we'll see. They were calling between 5 and 7 inches, but we'll see. See how accurate the weatherman is.
All right, gentlemen. I got to start cooking.
Was it
I
something I
think we have
said?
another question for you.
No.
Can't remember it. Hang out for a minute. We'll come up with it.
You guys
Just
tortured
come
Todd.
back and check on us when you're about halfway done.
Brad, we just
Well-
want to see how long we can get him to hang out for.
Yeah.
Well, we
Yeah.
probably meal prep,
doesn't
right?
get it.
So you should be able to eat right there in the stream.
Mm-hmm.
I
Charlie
can't
doesn't
eat
look.
in front of you people.
You people? He said you people.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean you people?
You people. Oh, man. No.
Oh, hey, Todd. Melissa said she put a question in the chat for you.
So now you have to find it. It's a Easter egg hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Way
there you
back, way back up at the top.
No.
one.
Sunday at like 4:00.
Oh, well, you're good. Then we can go out and get some breakfast.
Yeah, that's
Um,
why I flew out later, is because of
You wanted free breakfast.
gotta
oh,
have
no,
food.
Rob, no. He's buying. That's what's happening there. Yeah. It's not free for him. It's free for me. Not free for him.
When you
Make sure
flying
he
out,
picks a good restaurant.
you're
Oh, I'm
flying,
gonna pick a nice one. Something
flying out
really nice.
Sunday, Todd.
Yeah, Sunday late afternoon.
Okay.
You going too, Charlie?
Huh?
You going up there too?
Yeah.
To St. Louis?
I'm going to go to St. Louis. See what,
I really
looks like a good show.
I'm looking forward to listening to Kent Williams speak.
Yeah. I just spoke with him the other day on the phone for a minute. So
What's he doing to you, Brad?
I don't know. It's that old man Twitch or something. Whacks me in the face once in a while.
What's the dates, Tom?
the February 20th and the 21st. That's a Friday and a Saturday.
So 3 weeks from today.
Yep, that sounds about right.
I ain't even got my hotel yet. Or my
You're
ticket.
going too, Joey?
Trying to.
Everybody's going.
It's a nice hotel. I like that. It's pretty.
When I first started this, I wasn't going to have to get a hotel. I had a camper to get in.
Not
You don't have a
anymore.
camper now?
You may be worse off in St. Louis in that camper than you would have been at Louisville, Joey.
It's in Baton Rouge, Bob. My granddaughter's living in it right now.
Oh, okay.
Temporarily.
Well, you said before that, like even going to Navi, that it was cheaper just to drive up there and get a hotel than to pull the camper.
Well, it could have been cheaper, but maybe a little bit. It depends on. It's a first come first serve thing, but it's just too much hassle to go to Kentucky. Straight
See,
up there, and straight back.
Tom hadn't eaten, and you hear his stomach growling. He had to mute the mic.
That was actually my son's truck, believe it or not.
Sound like
Okay, so hold on.
I can't believe I'm still sitting here.
Answer me this. I don't want to change the subject, but answer me this. Why would somebody take a perfectly good, very nice Toyota Tacoma and cut a hole in the exhaust on purpose?
Mental illness.
Yes, sir. I believe you were correct. I seen him. So he was in the garage one day. So he has a little Toyota Corolla that I bought for him. I got each of my kids one. And anyway, he still has that. And so he bought himself a Toyota Tacoma, a little pickup truck, kind of like JW's, but a little older. Really nice. Good little truck. And he was doing a lot of work to it, fixing little things on it and just tending to it and what have you. Well, anyway, I see him one day. He has it in the garage here, and I have like a plasma cutter and a welder and a lot of tools and things like that. I see him under there with a I don't think it was my plasma cutter. I think he was using my Sawzall. And I stopped and I heard something. I went out there and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And he kind of looks at me and I'm like, knock it off. And he's like, what? And I'm like, I know exactly what you're doing. I'm like, you're cutting that muffler out. And I'm like, so just for reference, we live in a neighborhood. So we have neighbors. And I'm like, nobody wants to listen to that. And then Melissa started to chew me out because she goes, you did the same thing when you're younger. So I just had to tell her, I'm like, well, it was different. That's back when we didn't know any better, right?
Plus, you learned that lesson, right?
That's right. We learned that lesson. That's right.
Yeah. But they won't pay attention. See, I used to have my old Camaro. I had it where I could roll the mufflers off the headers and make real noise.
See, now if it was something where you could put it back easily, then that'd be fine. Because then when he comes in the neighborhood, I don't want to hear him come in. So basically what I'm trying to tell everybody here is I've become my father. Okay? I told myself I'd never do it, and here I am.
But just tell him somebody in the chat said it is a Toyota, you said?
It's a Toyota Tacoma,
It still don't sound like a Chevy. Or
Well, thankfully.
All right. Well, while you guys talk about cars, I'm going to be cooking.
I know we can go back to bees. I'm sorry, I digressed there. Melissa said she dropped a comment here.
You said that already.
She dropped another comment.
Here, this one. Alicia's organizing an AM. Oh, that says am, not and. Oh, let me silence that thing.
I thought you were pinging from the submarine.
No, it's my ring camera going off because my son's out there clowning around.
He's
Putting
putting
his
his
exhaust
exhaust on
back.
his exhaust.
Yeah, he probably is.
He's probably going for the rare minerals in that.
I'll say hi to Darren there from Drumby Farm.
By the way, just tell Melissa I'm in on breakfast. I guess I'll be there.
So what about that place that we ate at last year? You recall that? Did you like that?
Yeah, that was good.
It's really good breakfast. They have a nice spread. It's not the cheapest breakfast, but they're good. It's good.
It was good. Yeah,
and that's not too terribly far from the spot, so we can come over, and anybody that's not, has wheels, we can come over and pick you up, and we'll go hang out for a while. I think if I remember correctly, it seemed like we hung out there from, I don't know, mid-morning through the early afternoon before everybody took off.
What's this? It don't smoke like a Chevy either. Am I missing something?
Talking about the Toyota. He said the Toyota.
Oh.
Chevy.
Only Chevy I ever seen smoking had 300,000 miles on it.
Mm-hmm. Because they're built to last.
Well, the body might not be in the paint job.
Brad is purposely grinding his teeth right now.
Now the Dodge, they're terrible paint job.
Just let y'all know I drive a Ford right now.
Only Chevy I've ever seen with 300,000 miles is on its fourth engine.
No, I had one. And it's still rolling. Pulls a boat now.
So talking about pulling a boat, I got to start barbecuing my dinner.
Well, hold on. You haven't told us what you're making yet.
Well, I went to the store and I bought. It was on sale, and
I see what he did there.
You see what he did there.
I'm going to send him a nasty gram.
No, he pulled an Ian on that one.
Oh, that's another one.
I don't trust Ian's Irish goodbye anymore because he got a new phone. So I think he does it on purpose now.
You didn't think he did it on purpose before?
Well, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. So this was a pretty decent week this week. I talked to a group of homeschool kids yesterday. They have like a get together where all the moms come and bring the kids so they can hang out. And they asked me to come talk about bees. So I took a beehive down there, obviously with no bees, but to show them all the parts and talk to them, and ended up selling almost $300 worth of honey to the homeschool moms out there yesterday. So it went pretty good. Mr. Booth said, "Shush, Brad." Joey disappeared on us.
Vanished.
And then I got into my first retail location yesterday, so that was nice.
That's exciting.
Was that Mexican outfit?
No, it was this. Our city has a visitor center, so it's in the visitor center. They sell stuff, so
that look like it's got possibilities.
We'll
Might be able
see.
to move some there.
We'll see what happens. I don't know. I live here and I didn't even know it existed, right? So, and they sent me an email and I scheduled a time to go down there and we did some tastings. So she's got, regular 1 pound bottles and then some lemon and cinnamon creamed honeys and some hot honey. So that's what we're trying out in there to see what happens. But it's on the same street that they held the annual South Carolina conference at, the convention center. And it's right where everybody goes downtown. It's like our restaurant district right there. So if you're in town, like on a business trip, you're definitely going to that area while you're here. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Might be slow, might work. I don't know. We'll see over time. course, you put it in there yesterday, and then the whole state closes down because it snows the next day. So we'll see how it goes.
It's a long game, Bob. It's a long
It
game.
is.
It's not a sprint.
It is. Honestly, I'm just flattered that they contacted me because evidently what she said in the email is that my honey comes highly recommended, and I don't know what that means or who recommended it, but
All them Facebook people you contact.
all them Facebook posts. It could be. Never know.
Yeah.
Anybody who's tried it.
Somebody knew somebody, and they all kept chattering to him like, well, we got to get this guy's stuff.
Well, I have the two little flats that I put my creamed honeys in. And when I'm at the table, and I sent Brad a photo yesterday, they wiped that thing out at the little mommy get together, right? So it was pretty cool. And little kids, but it was such a wide range of children, like from 5 years old to 13 or 12 or 13 years old. So it's kind of hard because the older kids, you would need to talk a little, probably more in depth about things, where the little kids, you need to make it more, I don't know, cartoony, if that makes sense.
I want to know if you did the waggle dance, and if so, did you get it on video?
I didn't do the waggle dance, but I did ask the question, did they know how bees talk to each other? And I was really surprised how many kids in the group knew that they danced, right? That they waggled, right? So
kids are smart.
I think homeschool kids are maybe even a little bit smarter.
I'll guarantee you they are.
Because
they talk about real education instead of all the garbage.
Yeah, they probably can still sign their names too. They probably can write in cursive. But it was.
How many mothers were there?
There was 35 kids, so probably 20, at least 20 moms.
Yeah, 20 reproducing prospective resales.
Yeah, so it was kind of weird because I brought my sampler. I didn't have a table or anything, right? I just had it on the back of my truck, and all the kids came up because it was at a park, and I was showing them the parts, letting them see. I had some foundationless with the fishing line in it, still had some comb on it, so I was able to break it off and let them pass around pieces of comb and put their hands on stuff and talk about it. And then I brought the sampler out, and the kids wrecked it. When I say wrecked it, I mean they were spoons and spoons and spoons. One girl was right there at the front tasting every single flavor of honey I had, regular honey, everything. I said, your mom is going to hate it. Huh? No. Different spoons. I was on double dip patrol. But I said, your mom is not going to be very happy with me in a little while when that sugar rush, all these flavors. So it was fun. I had fun. It's been a slow at the table, but I mean, yesterday was, I don't know, close to $400, I guess, by the time the store and the table was all. Is that right? No, close to $500 on 400. So it was.
That's awesome.
So did you retail the price of the honey to the state?
Yeah. So the way they work is they don't want to sell it more than what I sell it for.
Mm-hmm.
And they went to my website to figure. I mean, that's how they contacted me, was through the website. So they already knew what my website prices are, which are typically a little bit higher than what's at my table. And because of, website fees, credit card fees, and all the other stuff that is along with that. So
and you're selling it too cheap to begin with.
Yeah. So I sold it to them for $9.
Mm-hmm.
And which is $1 cheaper than what I sell it for at my table, but they're selling it for 12.
What's that, Joey?
That's the old truck I had 300,000 miles on. 1987.
You kept your oil changes up, your maintenance. You got a brand new Dirt Rooster hat.
Joey, you're on mute.
I got a half a dozen just like that. All right, y'all carry back on.
Blow the picture back.
I got the munchies. I got to go get something.
What are you eating? I'm hungry too.
Charlie's got us all wanting the munchies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some chips.
Are those good chips, Charlie? What you got there?
I'm gonna put my winter hat on.
Nuts.
So here's a funny topic. Melissa and I had this conversation this morning. Melissa likes really like vinegary, salty type chips and things like that. And I can't do that. It's too much for me. Like too much. Okay. For instance, too much like vinegar on something, no good. Too much mustard, I can't deal with it. Like these really are like a buffalo sauce, how it's really like pungent. I can't handle much of that, but she absolutely just eats that stuff up.
I've seen people put vinegar on fresh, cooked fries, French fries.
Yeah.
that never appealed to me at all.
She could do that, man. Not me.
My wife came in and had to give me my shot, so get up. Let's see.
So you got 3 or 4 inches. How much are you going to get down there, Bob? Did he tell you?
They're staying between 5 and 7 inches. We'll see. See if the weatherman's right or not.
You guys have snow plows down there?
Hell no. I got nothing. Nothing. We got nothing.
What about the State Highways Administration? They have anything like that?
No, they'll put sand out on the roads. Now, which is funny because last weekend when they threatened it, they had all these electric companies that came up and everything, and I think they all went back home. And then this week we got actual snow. So,
No, I mean they could take a road grader out there, I guess, and plow it.
and people here will still go out in it even though they can't drive in it.
Yeah, there's been a lot of accidents. A lot.
You know what I should do, Bob, is I should take a couple of plow trucks down there and could probably make a killing, huh?
Yeah, if the state might even pay you to contract you to do some.
They'd have to pay me well.
Or they would say, they said, nah, it's going to melt in like 2 days. It'll be gone. But yeah,
I remember having an opportunity 1 or 2 years, and this was a few years back. There was a buddy of mine who had done some subcontracting work for a local company around here with buildings and stuff. And when they finished up around here, they were begging people to drive up there. And I had an opportunity to drive a couple of trucks up there of my own. And the pay was like, you got paid from the time you left the door till the time you got up there. And then I don't remember now, the hourly rate was pretty high. Like they were really wanting to pay up to go up to Chicago, which for us is about a 5 or 6 hour north drive. Just to move snow around because
several years ago, my brother went from West Virginia down to Florida when Hurricane Andrew hit, and he never came back. He stayed down there because he made so good of money cleaning up from the hurricanes, running equipment down there that they got a place and they stayed down in Florida after that. He's been an equipment operator down there ever since.
Wow.
I know some tree trimmer guys that have got cranes and stuff. They'll go down there and they'll stay like the next state up above, like they're getting ready for the attack. And as soon as the hurricane goes through, then they all run down there and gouge the hell out of them, getting trees off of houses and all that stuff.
Well, it's probably not Somali daycare type of money, but it's probably pretty good.
Nothing is Somali daycare kind of good.
But other than that, I mean, I haven't even the last couple of weeks haven't even been able to look at my bees because it's been kind of cold. I mean, it was 80 degrees like 3 weeks ago, and now it's snowing, so it gives you an idea how our weather just kind of does this.
Yeah, but what do you consider cold? 50 or 40?
In the 40s, high in the 40s. Yeah, it usually has to be over 50 something degrees before I'll pop the colony open.
Yeah, 40 is cold here too.
Yeah, cool. It's you go in your building and it's 40 degrees.
Oh, you meant Fahrenheit?
Yeah.
Oh, I minus 40 is what I was talking about.
Minus 40.
That's pretty cool. That was minus 40 like a week ago.
Yeah, I don't see how you stand that.
Stay
Stay indoors.
said the daycares have low overhead. They do.
Real low.
You stay indoors when it's minus 40.
Oh, a crew from New York came down to the Carolinas, eh? Didn't know. I mean, I see flight, then I feel like I'm okay to go in. If they're warm enough to get out and fly, then it's warm enough for me to get in. But it's been a
Charlie,
couple-
you say, I don't know how you do minus 40. I don't know how these things do minus 40. You got a box of bees out there in the yard, and it's minus 40 degrees.
Yeah.
Is that amazing or what? And they're
And
not really that heavily
I'm-
insulated either.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here, like it's like this morning at 7:30, it was 8 degrees Fahrenheit, which let's
That's
see.
just below 50.
Huh?
That's just below 50. 8 degrees Fahrenheit? Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Let's
was it
see.
minus 10? Somewhere in there?
Let's see, where is Fahrenheit? There's 7 minuses, 6s, 8. Negative 13.
Okay.
Negative,
Yeah. Close.
between,
Pretty cold.
yeah, negative 13. Which,
Yes.
like you say, I
Steve,
mean,
know
my
that.
bees are outside and they're not insulated boxes or anything, and they're doing fine.
Yeah.
And I peeked in really super quick today just to make sure, and it was like let's see, -6 in your area, maybe, yeah, between 6 and -5, and
That's not
They
cold.
weren't-
That's
they
not too
weren't-
cold.
well, they weren't
For-
clustered like everybody thinks
Yeah.
they are
For bees that aren't wrapped, that's not too cold.
at all.
If it never went below, say, minus 10 C, maybe the occasional, 0 F kind of thing, I wouldn't wrap bees. They're fine. Just make sure they have enough to eat. That's all.
Well, that was my biggest concern because this year I used AprilGuard and I was concerned about temperatures. And if it got up over 90 degrees, I wouldn't put nothing on. So it was like treat 1 week, off a week, treat 1 week, off a week. It was so spread out by the time I got done that it kind of shut that queen down for too long of a thing. I finally figured that out, what you guys always talked about. And by the time I'm trying to feed in September into October, the hive, I didn't see a huge brood nest that's been capped over so they wouldn't fill it up with nectar or sugar water. And I cut back on my sugar water this year because I didn't want to close their brood nest up. And now it's kind of biting me a little bit.
Yeah. That brings me to a question, because I heard you guys talking about the airflow and blocking the hive, but when they're buried, there's no issues with them breathing in there. And
These guys,
yeah,
they could be those things could be under 6 feet of snow and they'd be fine.
Yeah, I mean, all my entrances except for 3 of them today had been open. I mean, it's only like a 3 or 4 inch wide entrance, but I had 3 of them there that had frozen ice, I guess you would call it, ice or glazed snow which was frozen.
That'll melt out soon, though. If it's not like that for more than a few days, don't worry about it.
Yeah, like normal fluffy snow. I never go out there and close them because usually it'll be not enough warm. The atmosphere warms up enough; it's starting to melt, and they're going to drink the water anyway.
So I've talked about this before, and it's relevant, so I'll say it again. One of the greatest examples I've ever experienced was a neighbor, to illustrate how well bees cope with cold and how well they survive. A neighbor down the road, about 20 miles east of me, he had about 75 colonies a few years ago, and he didn't get his bees put away for the winter. And so they just sat in wooden boxes, just like my bees you see on my channel, exactly like that. So they just sat like that all winter. And so he went through them in the spring, and
Tom just got a lot prettier.
71 of them 71 of them died. Okay, 3 of them survived the winter without being wrapped up or anything, and 2 of the 71 that died had a bunch of ice inside, and they iced up and died because of that. So there was 68 left. They all starved to death. So that just kind of illustrates that they were surviving, and they ran out of food. It just takes so much fuel for them to stay warm at that point that they just ate all their food. But they were surviving until that point. So
Well, that's what I've kind of come to conclusion. And I used
cold
to
is not that bad.
no, but I like about feeding and stuff. I normally feed heavy in the fall
Yeah.
to where they just won't take anymore. And then I've had some, they'll say, well, they broke cluster and they couldn't get back and they froze, or maybe ran out of food because the frame was like one frame over. And I've kind of, after feeding like with Matt's fondant there this year, because I'm concerned about the rest. They've been eating up their stores to begin with because it's right on the edge. I think that after the first of the year, maybe it is good to have a fondant patty on them, where you put it right on top of the bees, to where instead of them trying to move left or right, they just move straight up and down, and it maintains that food connection contact.
I hope I can get out in the next couple of weeks to check the feed stores in these, because these are singles. I haven't wintered singles outdoors before, so they might need a little bit of help. I have some fondant ready if they do.
Yeah, it's like Ryan Peabody that comes on these chats. He's down about 2.5 hours south of me, and he's doing singles, and he put some sugar bricks and stuff on them last year. And I told him, I said, I think you really need to put a medium super on top, where you fill that thing full of sugar water honey, so you've got enough in the brood chamber and enough above them, so they, you don't have to worry about running out of food. But I don't know. It's like Ian and you. I mean, you go into the bee barns. How many starve out because of lack of food? I mean, I know you guys feed them.
Usually, for me, usually none. I haven't had a starvation case in years.
Well, you usually feed them to the point where they fill all the frames up on top of honey.
Yeah, they'll be just stuffed. Yep. I'll have to check these big ones, these big 6s I put in, so I want to make sure I check those.
Yeah, maybe I should have kept on, feeding this year and having the same concept that you do, where
here's the danger though. Here's the danger with feeding, late, is if they don't cure that feed, there's too much of it not cured, it's too much open feed, then that absorbs moisture in the winter, it ferments, and that will kill the bees when they eat that. They just kind of blow up. It's nasty. I've had that happen. I have that problem way more than I have starvation.
Yeah, okay. What you got?
And there's a couple in my building. They're showing some poop on the entrance. That might be what's going on in there.
Yeah.
They had some open feed that fermented.
I kicked Tom out. He's banned.
He's banned.
No. I don't cook on the weekends. He's hungry, so he had to go find himself some food. So he ordered himself a pizza, and he's going to go pick it up. So he's gone. He's left the building officially for the next 20 minutes.
You guys live close to town, or are you out a bit?
So we're at an unincorporated small town, but like in town is like 5 minutes away. The place he's getting pizza from is 15 minutes away. So we're not far from town, I guess. Our subdivision we live in has like, I don't know, 60 some odd houses in it. So we live in a small subdivision just outside of any incorporated actual town. So
Rick said he was getting hangry.
Did you hurt your hand, Melissa?
no, occasionally my wrist just bothers me and I wear this for like a day and then it feels better. So we've just got some little irritation going on.
It's a cast or something.
If I could get
Yeah.
something to make my joints feel better, I'd look like a mummy trying to get better.
Yeah, it's just a little,
Wrap.
wrist stabilizer thing. I'll wear it for a day or two and then it'll be back to normal.
She just came back from the bowling alley.
Yeah.
Wrist guard.
Honestly, I think it's kind of actually in here right now, and I think it's just from holding my phone, and doing different scrolling and stuff. Like that sounds really sad and ridiculous, but I think that's what it's from, to be quite honest. My bet was on you giving him a stack. He's been sitting here eating Oreos off to the side because I walked out here and he had a tray of Oreos sitting there, so he's been snacking on Oreos. I will say he wanted pizza though from a place that I don't care for the pizza. He's like, well, why don't you go? Because he was on live. He was trying to talk me into going and picking up his pizza. I'm like, no, I don't like pizza from there. I'm not going out in the cold to go pick it up for you.
See what Tom said, Charlie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking at what Brian was talking about, his new bee yards.
That hand probably hurts from
Smacking him upside the head.
yeah.
That may be what it is.
He's afraid of hitting him with the frying pan.
Yeah, that's probably it. I am left-handed and this is my right hand, so I was using my bad hand. And Mark, it's not Emo's. It's a place called Joe Bacardi's, but I think they use the same Provel cheese, which I don't mind the cheese. Tom was talking about totally not about bees. Earlier, he was talking about I like the salt and vinegar chips, and he likes the sweet things and whatnot. This Joe Bacardi's and Emo's, it's their sauce. They use a sweeter sauce, and I don't like that. I like a more tangy pizza sauce, so that's why I don't like their pizza. It's not the cheese; it's the sauce. Oh, so Bob, you were talking about earlier. I made a comment. I don't know if you saw it about the visitor center, your honey being in the visitor center. So our the closest town to us has like a tourist visitor center also. And they've been carrying our honey for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years now. And we don't sell a lot of honey through them, but it has opened up a lot of doors as to it's got us invited to several different town markets. It's got our name around town a lot better because they promote our honey on their Facebook page.
Okay.
And then it's also given us a pickup point for people. Like if I'm not home or they don't want to drive, 10 minutes out to our house, another location for people to pick up our honey at. So, we might not sell a ton of honey out of there, but it's opened up a bunch of different opportunities.
They also put a little card by the honey that has a QR code to my website, and also like a background and everything of my business, I guess. So
one thing I did do there recently is, and I think it's actually helped honey sales there, is I provided them with pump jars with samples of our honey. So and wooden spoons or whatever you want to give them. And spoons so they can because we do our honey in light and dark, and that way they can sample the honey and decide which ones they want and stuff. And I think that's helped boost sales there a little bit more.
I told them I wouldn't be opposed to coming out there and setting up and doing a sample tasting type of thing for them. So we'll see what happens. It's all new to me. Yeah. So I'm just happy to be in there, right? I mean,
I leave that there, and I gave them glass pump jars. Actually, another location we have honey at, I did that for them too. And it's the only time I tell them it's okay to microwave honey. because it's going to eventually crystallize
Right.
on them. I'm like, it's just, if it wasn't just samples, I'd never tell them to microwave it, but it's just, samples to sell. I'm like, just if it starts getting cloudy, just pop it in the microwave for 30 seconds. Because they have a microwave there for breaks and whatnot. And that they really appreciated the samples. So just an idea, if they're able to do samples,
Did
that
you
might.
say you were using pump jars?
Yeah, let me.
Show us one of them.
Yeah, I'll go get it. Hold on one
You
second.
might have to get some of those.
I was
Amazon.
reading Brian's post here about potential new bee yard. Look, and the guy has 6 animates that I'm going to put bees in. What's that? Is that like things that look?
Apame is probably what it was supposed to be. Probably auto-corrected on them.
Okay. Got a bear fence, stands.
So it's just this. And it's just this lid and pump part. I just got this off Amazon. And this is just like a
Mason
little
jar.
mason jar. Yeah. And they don't drip. So that works out real well. I will say I tried this using these at market before. And in the summer, they work great. But when it starts getting cool outside, they don't work too well because the honey's too thick to pump through it. But inside a shop or something, it's perfect.
I had one of these 1 pound squeeze bottles that you can't see me. So I had a 1 pound squeeze bottle that I was using yesterday at for the kids, right? Letting them taste the honey. And it was coming out like toothpaste because it was so cold.
Yeah.
It was just squeezing out like a little round tube out of the spout.
For samples at markets, I really like the no drip lids. That way in the middle of summer, it's not like a bunch gushing out at one time. It's easier to control. But yeah, these work great. We have these in 2 different stores for doing samples.
That is a nice one. I might look at something like that for them. It's I mean they got 2 jars of each of cinnamon and lemon creamed honey and 2 jars of hot honey and a dozen 1 pound squeeze bottles. So they didn't get a bunch of, obviously it's not like a grocery store, right? It's just, and they're not that far from me. So if they need something, I can always go over there and fill them back up.
Well, so Brian says I can see a customer mistake that for hand sanitizer. They have these, they don't put these over by my honey. Like it's not a self-serve, I guess it is kind of self-serve, but it's at the checkout desk. So
be my luck, the ladies in the office would be squeezing it into their coffee.
They probably do.
2
But
pumps
whatever.
in it, it'll be good.
Yeah, I actually have this because I needed to refill it for him. I got to drop it off next week.
For a large 2-ounce bear order. Nice.
See, we never have requests for 2-ounce bears. We don't sell them anyway. 3 ounces is our smallest size that we sell.
Even like the only person I've ever done that for is my daughter asked me if she could get some, like fill up some for her wedding or no baby shower little things. And I said, yeah, come on over. And she bought the jars and I filled them up for her and she went on her way. But I've never profited off of those. I've only ever lost in that deal.
I had a boy I worked with. He was actually my HVAC guy at work. And after I retired, his son got married and his wife come up with the idea she bought some little honey bears or little honey jars, little small ones. And she wanted to get some honey and fill up. And he called me wanting to either get me to fill them up and buy the honey from me or whatever. I said, tell you what, I'll donate you the honey you need. And I give you a squeeze bottle, and y'all have at it. I donate it for a gift to them. So
yeah, I can't. Those even with the Maxent 1 drip valves, those honey bears have to be a pain because I know our small bourbon barrel jars are a pain to fill, but the new speed fill that John Hill has, he has a special smaller nozzle to fill those small bears in those small jars with smaller openings. So if anybody has one of those speed fills, you can order, I think, that attachment for that smaller jar filler separately.
Now you use it for creamed honey as well. I thought I
The
saw you talking about that the other day.
The speed fill we only use for creamed honey right now, yeah.
Now
We have,
you have to clean it out between every flavor you do, or you just
so we only do plain right now. So,
okay.
But yeah, once we start doing flavors, we'll have to. Honestly, I don't know how it's going to work because at Nobby, Tom ordered his new speed fill version, and so he has an idea in his head how he's going to hook all this up. So we will have to do some sort of cleaning in between flavors.
I'll tell you what
I
has
don't know what
worked
that looks like yet.
really well for me with the flavors, and it's so basic because of the I only have the one creamer, so I'm only pulling off regular creamed honey and then I'm flavoring it, and then I just pour it out of my mixing bowl into a half-gallon tea pitcher or drink pitcher, Rubbermaid or whatever, and then I just pour it into the jar. Jar. It's not as accurate, obviously, but it's pretty easy, and you don't mess up a bunch of stuff, and there's not a lot of cleaning behind it.
Yeah, I will say so. Our big purchases this year were that speed fill, the new speed fill, and then we did order Jed Thorne's creaming tank. So we'll have the Jed Thorne creamer and the heated creamer, and then John Hill's. I don't know what size it is that we have now. 1, 2, 3, 15 gallon. I think
That's
whatever it is.
Thorne Manufacturing.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll start our creamed honey in the Thorne Manufacturing to decrystallize, however you want to say it, everything, because it's heated, right? So we'll make our plain creamed honey in that. And then when we want to flavor it, we're going to pump it from the Jed Thorne tank into the Hilco tank and flavor it. And the Hilco tank will be for flavored creamed honey, is the idea right now.
Trying to see the creamer.
Yeah, Thorne's got that scraper, that wall scraper.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that close.
If he gets them done, we're supposed to pick that up in Wisconsin next week because he'll be in Wisconsin. And then we'll get the speed fill when John Hill comes to EMBA at the end of February.
Oh, is that the 25-gallon one?
Jed Thorne's?
Yours is a 24-gallon.
Yeah, I don't know if Tom's talking about the one that we have with Hilco or the one that we ordered it with Jed Thorne, though.
Because I see two creamers on their website, 8-gallon and a 25-gallon.
So the Jed Thorne one is the 24-gallon, I'm pretty sure.
He doesn't have a picture.
Was their small one, was it heated or just single wall?
Jed's?
Yeah.
I think both of his were heated.
I thought it was.
So what I see on Facebook, they're
Brian, I'm not talking to you about your fake cream honey anymore. You ordered one of those cream pals, so it's a different creaming technique. I told him it's fake honey now, fake creamed honey.
Brian ordered a cream pal?
Yeah.
The smaller one?
I'm not sure what size because I didn't
look.
It
was like 35
I don't
grand.
know what the sizes are. That's the only reason I'm saying that.
It's a small tabletop bottle.
Yeah.
You still have to do the same thing like he was showing with the big one where you creamed it, then you put it in a bucket, and then you put it in the cooler, and then you brought it back the next day and you put it back in like they had last year? Or is it different for the tabletop?
I don't know because I didn't look at it.
3 times. I think if you got the seed in, it's one time.
If you got the seed in, it's just one time. You put it in there.
Yeah, if you're making seed out of it, it's 3 rotations into the cooler and back out, if I remember right. But if you got the seed already, it's like just one time.
So I've seen them on YouTube, different ones saying I'm making whipped honey. So what is that? Just where you're running a mixer and it's fluffing it up, or what?
Yeah, whipped honey is introducing air into honey. Creamed honey is actually a process of manipulating the crystal structure. Creamed honey is manipulating crystal structure. Whipped honey is just introducing air.
Air, and it just turns it white looking.
Yeah, basically.
And it's basically still runny, right?
No, because it'll be whipped. But the thing is, you're just introducing air into it, right? So eventually the air is going to escape and rise to the top. And then you'll get separation. I think sometimes that's why you see,
most of the whipped honey that I saw, they're doing it for a special time. You know, like tonight we have a big dinner and people coming and we want some whipped honey. They'll whip it up for that occasion. And it looks a lot like creamed honey when they get through with that. But will it stay? I doubt it.
Yeah. No, it won't. And that's
probably a day.
That's why your creamer runs so slow. Because what you don't want to do is get air into your creamed honey, because then it'll separate over time.
Well, and that's why you see like people who make creamed honey at home and they're using like their KitchenAid mixer, even though they're doing it on a low speed. They're still introducing air in there, and eventually that's why you'll see like separation in there. Because I mean, it is partially creamed, but it's also partially whipped.
And that's why you'll start seeing
separation in their creamed honey at the bottom or at the top, because that air is, that had gotten in there is getting out. And so it's turning back to liquid honey.
Let's see.
I thought Brian Castle. So I don't have any of Hilco's bottling tanks or their valves. So I don't know. I just have their speed, so I'm not sure about that.
My creamer holds 27.5 gallons. But
I think Brian Castle kind of answered this question.
Let me see. Now I watched somebody's video. It might have been Man Life, and they had a creamer on there, and it was a video clip of it going. But boy, did it seem like it was ever going fast. I mean, it was just like in the video, it seemed like it was going really fast.
So my Hilco creamer, I have it set on 11, and I don't know if that's revolutions per minute, because I don't know what their speed, they use as far as, speed measurement on that. I just know it's set on 11 and it runs every 45 minutes, or no, 15 minutes on, 45 minutes off.
That's how mine's running too. And mine just stays running.
Yeah, I have creamed honey in that Hilco tank. It's been in there since October, just because I ran out of jars and I got jars in and I just haven't had time to.
And then once you drain a little bit out, you add some more honey in the top and let it keep going.
Yep, exactly.
Let's see.
I'm starting to get confused on what Jerome's saying.
I think
I'm talking about a shutoff valve that goes between your tank and your speed bottler. Oh, Hilco actually sells one.
Yeah, I think you got it, but I think it's leaking. Sound like to me it doesn't have an O-ring or something.
My bottling tank. I've got that Hilco valve for my bottling tank to be in front of the bottler. Lover won't turn in it, and it doesn't make a positive seal.
Water will drip through something that honey won't.
Where's the water coming from is what I don't understand. Because there shouldn't,
maybe he's got it full of water to test it.
Maybe he's just testing it with water, but water.
The water's thinner than honey, so that might be why.
Brad's right there. When I first made my homemade bottling tank, I bought the bottling valve from Man Lake, and when I set it all up, it had water in it. And I just left it sitting in the shop all night, and it dripped a few times. I went ahead and let it dry out good, and I put honey in it, and it never dripped.
Even my syrup mixing tank machine, when I fill it with water and I start it up, it leaks like crazy. I start dumping sugar in it, and it seals right up. It doesn't leak.
Matter of fact,
Joey,
still using it.
Joey, I
What?
just started a comment. You might want to watch out for it.
Still snowing.
In case it turns into something.
I set the creamer at 8, and it took about 8 seconds to make a revolution. 64. Okay. Yeah, that's same with mine. My creamer, it's got the knob on it, but you don't know what any of those means or what is the best one to have it on, right? So
I think when we got that creamer from Hilco, they said to keep it at, I don't know, 9, but I always run it at 11 hertz.
then I saw a video of them really moving right on Man Lake. So I'm like, well, maybe I should try it faster.
Yeah. You don't want faster. It's just going to put air in there.
Let's see. I'm trying to catch up on there. Charlie, you got quiet. You still awake?
Yeah, I'm fine. I was
911.
looking at DC's question about draining the water out of the bottling tank.
Out of a stainless steel tank?
He's got a Shamrock one.
If you put distilled water in a stainless steel tank, I wouldn't worry too much about it unless it's a crappy tank.
That's what I did in mine. I put distilled water in it. And then I had some people talk about putting mineral in it or something like that, you know,
can put almost anything in it
and all that. But and then they're talking about where the water evaporates. I've never had that either. Mine keeps hot all the time.
Won't evaporate very fast.
Yeah, I mean, I do have, well, one guy, I don't know whether it was you, Brad, or I have a cloth in here to keep any stink bugs or anything else out of there.
Yeah.
Out of the fill hole. But
and you don't need to just get them topped right up to the top either, because most of the heat value you're getting is down low. Your elements down at the bottom. You don't need to get that water right up to the top.
I didn't get it all the way up to the fill hole.
Yeah, leave yourself,
I don't know, 3 or 4 inches.
Does honey work kind of like a lava lamp, where the hotter honey rises and
it'll convect? Yeah, but it's
down.
viscous, right? So it's not as fast.
Well, I mean,
but also what happens is, that I learned the hard way, is you put water in the tank, you top it right up to the top, and then you fill it with honey. Well, the tank kind of gives a little bit, and the bottom does this and whatnot, and then water comes shooting out of your
because I put
jacket.
I put, like you say, put the water in it when I first got it, and I put a bucket or 2 of honey in it, and then they went pop, and that bottom flexed or something.
Sure.
See, I've never had that with our honey tanks, you know, because we have 3 Maxent jacketed tanks. I never had that with those, but with my wax melter, if I fill that too much up, and when the element kicks on, sometimes when when I'm initially melting because I leave wax in it all the time, and when I go to use it and I'm initially melting that wax back down, I will have that, like, it'll want to, if I fill it all the way up, it'll want to bubble out of the top of the wax jacketed wax tank. But I've never noticed that with our honey tanks.
I don't know. I got Maxant tank, and it had that like you said, it flexed a little bit, you know, but other than that, it hasn't been a problem ever since. Then about once a year, I get it close to the bottom, and then I take a big wide like spackle scraper, and it'll have the pollen particles that are kind of like baked on the sides, and I'll go around with that, and it's sticky enough it stays right on that scraper there, and I wipe it off, and I go all the way down at the bottom to where I hit the honey, and it keeps it nice and clean.
So our Maxent tanks, we you guys have seen, we have them on those stainless steel tables downstairs and whatnot. We don't usually put more than 10 gallons in each of those tanks. So really you only need the water to go up as high as you have the honey in there, right?
Yeah.
So there's no
I'll-
sense to fill it all the way up if you don't have to.
Mine's, I guess you call it's a 300 pounder. It's 25 gallons, I think it is.
Yeah.
And I fill it up, keep it filled all the time.
Yeah, we never empty ours all the way. We just add to it. The only one that gets emptied all the way is the bourbon barrel tank, and that only gets emptied all the way when we run out of bourbon barrel honey. So then we will scrape that one down. But even we don't necessarily clean it. We just add the next batch to it as soon as it gets done. But we'll scrape it down to get any of the first batch out.
Yeah.
And we keep ours, if we're just maintaining temperature to keep things liquid in there, we keep it between 80 and 90. If we're
That's
trying
what
to uncrystallize something, we might leave it at 100 for, a couple days.
That's where I'm at. I'm like at 82 to 92. It'll shut off it when it hits the hash marks. I consider two degrees hash marks.
Yeah. Well, we got that warming cabinet from Hilco last year. And so what Tom will usually do, because we keep all of our honey in 5-gallon buckets out in the garage. So typically what he'll do is bring a bucket in, put it in the warming cabinet for about 24 hours or whatever. And it'll not completely liquefy it, but it'll get it loose again and runny. And then we'll pour it into the bottling tank and leave it sit there for another day or two, at that 100-ish mark to completely liquefy before we start bottling again. And then after that, we'll turn it down to between 80 and 90.
Yeah.
That warming cabinet has been amazing for so the visitor center that our honey's in, they actually buy honey from us and resell it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other shops that we have our honey in, it's more consignment based. So if stuff starts crystallizing at those, I go get those and switch them out. So that warming cabinet has been great for switching out honey that's been sitting at the consignment stores.
That's what I do with the old refrigerator. Mine's set up like Charlie's is, right? Just a chicken lamp in there and sitting on I took the crisper drawers out of the bottom and just put the chicken lamp laying on some bricks down there and with the thermostat to turn it on and off.
Yeah.
So if I get something.
And I think those are great setups. Honestly, the reason we went with the warming cabinet is because the basement's finished.
Right.
And where I keep all of my market stuff right now, we're going to put, just like from Menards, cabinets and counters over there, and then put that warming cabinet under the counter.
Underneath.
Yeah. So it kind of aesthetically looks nice.
Yeah.
Just because there's no room in the garage to put
Don't John
something
have it
like
now
that.
where the control for the heat and cold are integrated?
Say that again, Joey.
Don't John have it now where the controls for the heating or cooling are integrated?
Yeah, so we can use it as a cooling cabinet for creamed honey, or use it as for a
When he
warming
first
cabinet.
come out with that design, you had to switch to one to the other.
Yeah.
I didn't know now if it was integrated or just you had to turn one part off to turn the other part on.
I think it's just a button on it, to be quite honest. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't really messed with it. It's just he sets it to. We've not really used it for cooling because we have a fridge downstairs in the back room that I usually, our back room stays cold enough to set up creamed honey. But if it's not cool enough down there, like if I'm making creamed honey in the summer or whatever, I pop it in the fridge that's in the back room. So we mostly use that cabinet from John Hill as a warming cabinet. So,
yeah, I keep on that refrigerator mine. I keep 3 buckets in there all the time, and I left we usually have the little half glass cabinet where you
One side is out, right?
well, you got the slider where you usually put like your cheese and your
Yes.
stuff in there. Like that. I left that little half cabinet. That's where the light is, and I put my fan there, and then I dangle the probe out in midair.
Yeah, I got a fan in mine too. So
And
when
it well,
turns on,
I didn't have it for a while, and I finally it circulates that air around. Everything's evenly heated in that thing. So then when I go and dump that into my bottling tank, I had a couple maple 2.5 inch strips, and I put a bucket strainer on there and pour it through the fine strainer again. And I've catched like a hive beetle or maybe a bee or even a piece of little from like a frame. And
that's what happened to me too. That wax explosion.
So what temperature were you did?
I had it at like 140.
Really?
Yeah, that thing. I don't know. Once the wax melted, I don't know what it just.
I wonder if some water got into it.
It's possible.
Because
it's a cheap Chinese Vivor one or something that I got off Amazon, and it just boom.
The one that
water
we got the one from Dancing Bee. I got the one from Dancing Bee last year, and I have mine set on like right at 140, 150. And the only time I've had anything pop out of it is if water got into the wax.
I think it was just that thing heats up, like he said, it heats up so quickly. I mean, I can melt a ton of wax in like 10 minutes. It just melts.
Yeah, mine doesn't heat up that fast.
Bob,
the one that I have.
Element in the wax?
What's that?
Is the element in the wax?
No, it's like you remember the old percolator coffee pots? It's almost identical to that.
See, mine's
got a different spout on
water jacketed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the element is not in the wax; it's in a jacket or something.
It's in the jacket.
That's interesting.
Oh, when I do my wax, first
sounds like it's heating up too fast.
Yeah.
Well, I have a crock pot that I use for rolling wax on foundation, but for the candle melter,
You made it back play.
The pizza's home. Are you like my wife though? I don't like pizza from that place, but let me get a slice.
No, because I had him order me pasta instead.
Some nasty pasta.
He only thinks the pasta's nasty because it's got mushrooms in it.
Yeah,
anyway,
I have to agree with that.
What? Who don't like mushrooms?
Tom don't like mushrooms.
It's like I had a friend of mine. She's, I love him mushrooms. I said, anything gross and horse shit, I'm not eating. And see, they do not. They said they do not. I said, the hell they don't. I said, I'll take you up here to the mushroom farms up the road here for me.
So my younger sister, when she was in high school, after high school, she had a boyfriend and his family called mushroom squeakers. It's like, does that have squeakers in it? We're like, what the heck are squeakers?
Hey, so the question that Joey had about the warming cabinet, Joey, that warming cabinet that we have does have separate switches. So it is a refrigerator that John Hill had modified with a heat source and a fan.
Y'all got it the first year he came out with it?
I believe it might have been.
Okay.
So ours, you can turn on the cooling system, but it's the regular refrigerator unit control system. When we've only used it for that one time. Yeah. But typically it just stays on the warmer side, which is the John Hill implementation that's in there, and it works fine.
I told John he needed to start selling that heater unit. Just ready to go in a box that somebody already has.
Yeah, he could.
People would put it in old refrigerators or in deep freezes and stuff like that. Sure.
I mean, like what we have works. I mean, it works great. When you can get all of it together, you still got to buy your controller. So when you get all that together, you get the controller. Sell it as a unit, put in a box.
DC, where'd you get your barrel warmer from? Because Tom was wanting to get a couple of those for some barrels that we have. If we start storing it in barrels more too. Just curious. So I got the only time I had wax sprayed on me from my wax melter was before Christmas. I was prepping stuff for Nobby, and last year at Nobby, Dancing Bee was doing luminary demonstrations, and so I'm like, oh, those would be kind of cool to make. And so I did the demonstration with them, whatnot, and I just never had time to mess with it at home. And it'd been like almost a year since I did the demonstration, right? So I'm downstairs. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this, try it out, whatnot, and not thinking it through. I just like, okay, I need balloons and I need, the wax to be melted, yada, yada, yada. So I just take this balloon and I blew it up with air and I dipped it in the tank. And after about 3 dips, the balloon exploded and I had little particles of wax go poof all over the place. That was fun to clean up. Had little aerosol wax beads in my hair and all over my face.
Not cool.
Came off the cabinet because we have cabinets in the countertop over there. And I just used my heat gun and paper towel. It cleaned up actually really easy.
Hey, your bourbon barrel honey. How long do you leave that honey in the bourbon barrel?
About 90 days.
Have you had any issues with it crystallizing while it's in the barrel, or
Not
getting
yet.
all of it out? How much do you lose inside the barrel?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how much we lose because have you actually measured how much you put in the? Yeah, we've never really measured. We will this time because you have a counter now.
Just pump it in, dump it out.
Yeah, but yeah, we've never really measured exactly. We have an approximate. We know how much we put in there, but we've never like actually measured how much we're losing or whatnot.
You're using like how big is the barrel that you're using?
The larger barrel, the 53 gallon barrel.
Oh wow, you're filling up a big one then.
But we're only putting maybe like halfway. Yeah. And then so I don't know if you've seen the lives before, or I don't know if we have a video on it or not.
I think we did a video on it before.
The rollers that we had, the stand with rollers that we had our friend fabricate so that we can rotate those barrels every few days or every week or however often he does it.
Surprised Tom hadn't motorized it yet and put it on a timer. So
that's the next plan. No.
That's an idea.
Yeah. Well, that those stands, they've got rollers, so they're easy. They're fairly easy to roll it.
Don't they have like a compost thing that turns the barrels of compost?
Oh yeah, that would be a good idea. Yeah.
Set it on there so it's auto turning.
Yep.
Did DC ever say where he got those barrel warmers from?
I didn't see.
McMaster.
Those are expensive. If you go with
That's from
McMaster
Odell
car,
Smith. Yeah, that's somebody else.
MasterCard Uline's gonna be expensive.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Uline's expensive just to ship it to you,
Oh, yeah.
much less the product. What were the barrel warmers you were looking at?
I don't remember. I have to go
You
back
don't
and
remember?
Steve's got like 9 inches of snow. Is it still snowing up there, Steve? It's still snowing here, at least about 5 minutes ago.
Refrigerator conversion kit.
Is that Castle Hives in there?
Yeah.
Huh. Let's go
I know.
Brian in there, huh?
They let anybody in these chats.
I commented to Brian's video this afternoon. I don't know if he's seen it or not. Brian Cooper.
Okay, y'all, we've been going 2 hours and 29 minutes. So it's about time to shut this thing down and start the after party.
Did you guys run everyone off?
He just dropped off. He didn't say bye or anything. He just
Who
disappeared.
did?
JW?
He texted me. He had company come in.
At this time of night, I didn't know he kept that kind of company.
Oh no.
Oh, you got some super chats tonight, huh, Joey?
Yeah, I just wanted to tell Brian, Steve, and Uncle Junior, appreciate your super chats. Y'all didn't have to do that, but I really appreciate it. Appreciate everybody over there for coming in.
You know what, Joey? That's almost enough money to buy your ticket to EMBA.
Oh.
See?
But I got to buy two. I got to buy two. I got to buy two. In case anybody didn't hear that, I got to buy two. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, well, by the time you get the super chat money, the conference will be over anyway.
That's true. I guess I had to let my wife pay for the tickets. All right. I appreciate everybody coming in the chat, and we'll see y'all next week.
Good night,
Night, everybody.
Night, everybody.